I just wanted to write a high romance. I hadn't had an opportunity, hadn't found a subject before, which I thought I could do that, and there it was.
It's very hard to remember how long and hard the technical period was, and the extraordinary difference from the final dress rehearsal to the first preview at Her Majesty's Theatre, where literally something magical happened. And from the first preview onwards, we knew that Phantom of the Opera was going to be something quite phenomenal.
Wonderful sets, wonderful costumes, wonderful acting, wonderful singing. It's got everything. Plus, it's got a gorgeous score. It's got gorgeous music.
La da la da.
Da 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 dee da.
You know, the biggest, hottest, and most anticipated theater production of 1988 is right here in New York.
The Phantom of the Opera.
The hottest show of this Broadway season.
Broadway phenomenon.
The entertainment event of the year.
In what's being called the British Invasion, previews of Phantom of the Opera begin January 9th.
But the theater has already sold $10.8 million.
$15 million.
More than $17 million.
But if you want good tickets to the show, you better be willing to wait. The first ones available are for November of 1988.
I just remember the audience reaction to this show. It was astonishing. It was just astonishing.
Practically everyone who has seen this musical comes away enchanted.
With performances in 82 cities so far, 58 million people have seen it worldwide.
There isn't a continent, I don't think, the Phantom of the Opera hasn't been on.
I wanted everyone in whichever city that this production appears to see the same show as you can see on Broadway or in London.
These are all productions that are first class and first rate.
We've never had an empty seat in New York, or in London, or in most of the cities it's playing.
All of us here in America on the road. Happy birthday, Phantom!
Esitada. Palju õnne sünnipäevaks.
What an amazing achievement to run for 30 years. So from all of us here in Stockholm, gratis!
From our family to your family.
Happy 30th anniversary!
It is the most amazing, potent mixture of music, spectacle, and romance that has turned Phantom of the Opera into one of the most loved musicals of all time.
When you look back over it all, it is extraordinary.
Well, it was the only seat left.
30...
Right.
Well, 30 fantastic years in this glorious theatre. And it was all your doing, ringing me up in the bath, saying you had a great idea to do.
Yeah, I thought it was time that we did a high romantic musical.
Absolutely.
And we'd done all these cats and all these people.
But, yes, I know. But then we found out that a few other people were going to do the show as well. So we decided, you said, well, we better get on with it.
Yes, we got on with it. Yes, we did. No, it's one of those nights, isn't it, Cameron, when seeing this again, you know, I suddenly think of so many people who were involved with the show and who, I just know I'm going to make a mistake and forget a few of them. But I think we should first say that the unsung people who never ever get a round of applause are the fantastic orchestra. Anthony, and I think we're both proud that we have had, for the last 30 years, the biggest orchestra in the West End.
Absolutely. Probably in the world now.
Yeah. Apart from New York.
But, you know, the other great star, two stars that are not here tonight, is the wonderful Hal Prince, who is in America and sends all his love to you.
Yeah.
And, of course, the genius of Maria Bjornsson that we have seen, and I marvel in this theatre.
I mean, one of the things that struck me tonight, Cameron, and I don't know what the rest of the audience, whether they noticed this ever, but actually, everybody says what a huge, great spectacle Phantom is, but it's in fact a very, very simple set. It's a
quite expensive.
Expensive simple set, but it's a black box.
It is indeed.
And it's got bits in it. It's not a great big thing. It's a wonderful, moving show.
It's quite big.
Yeah. Well...
But how brilliant that Maria used all the Edwardian stage machinery when she came up with this amazing candelabras and everything like that. And she just actually brought the old world and the new world
because
together.
Below here, the genuinely is all the 19th century kit. And I remember going round it with you and Maria and Hal, and we were saying, I wonder how much of this we could bring back into life. And that's fantastic that we've been able to.
Yeah. This theatre, though, it's been an amazing marriage. I mean, it's... having seen it wonderfully around the world, to see it in this place where it was born. And this theatre was like a character in the show.
It was.
And a very proud owner he is of it.
Yes,
too.
I am now. Cameron, do you think it's worth mentioning some of the things that we cut and perhaps didn't work here?
Ah, yes, because actually the material worked brilliantly when we got it here, but there were a few things we did cut.
See, when you were trying not to spare any expense, do you recall the question of your pigeons?
Ah, the pigeons. The pigeons that pooed instead of cooed on the Opera House roof. Yes.
I mean, they got pigeons in Harry Potter, I understand.
Yes, I know. It'll never run.
We don't have pigeons here.
What? What about Hal Prince's lovable rats with red eyes that went backwards and forwards, and Maria's white horse?
Yes, that went.
That went to the stable in the sky. Yes.
That disappeared.
Yes.
But actually, the show itself, when it got here, didn't alter.
When it got here, I'm not sure.
Before at Sidmonton, when we tried it out, it was not quite the same.
No, it was a lovely read-through. But I do remember looking at the...
There was an issue.
Is there something missing?
Yes, there was an issue.
I think you were very bright and very quick, because you went, yeah, I think we haven't got a song for the Phantom in the middle of the first act.
Yep.
And miraculously, the music of the night appeared a few days later.
Yep. But, no, it was quite interesting. Do you remember that we didn't start with Hannibal, and it was the man in the iron mask?
Oh. Well, I thought that would have been the sequel. You see, I said we'd missed a trick. It would have been very, very good. We could do it as a sequel.
We could, Cameron, and we could do lots of things as a sequel.
So, who else have we got to thank?
Well, we have to thank
everybody.
Everybody, absolutely everybody. And one of the things is that there is a huge backstage staff who keep this all together. And I mean, how wonderful it is to see it in such good shape. It's not just...
It is. We've been blessed with the most amazing creative staff that have looked after the show, not only here, but all over the world. And without them, the magic of this show would not be as brilliant as you've seen tonight. And what a wonderful cast we had tonight.
Yes, we have. Well,
The other thing I do remember is, do you remember we had to postpone the opening night from April till October because we were still searching for a phantom?
We still were searching for a phantom, and I don't know if I can really tell the story, but it was Sarah Brightman, her singing teacher, who said that, had you ever considered Michael Crawford? And I remember seeing Michael in a wonderful show called Flowers for Algernon. Do you remember that?
Wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, it really was an extraordinary show. And I just wondered, I mean, everybody thought of him, sort of, it was Barnum, of course, he did brilliantly, but everybody was still thinking Frank Spencer. And I remember when we first talked about it, we just wondered, and do you know what? We both knew that if Michael said he wanted to do this, that he would deliver it.
But I think the thing we didn't know, which Ian, the singing teacher,
Ian
said,
Adam,
was
yeah.
that Michael had been a chorister, and therefore he had another voice.
Yes, and this, when we played the score with him, I mean, it was extraordinary, wasn't it?
It was.
And he brought something to the music of the night that was
a real
incredible.
magic pairing.
Incredible. Well, we also must say that without the wonderful Gillian Lynn, we would not have had this.
I mean, again, seeing the poetry and the amazing staging, and we got her at it again this afternoon, and she is the most incredible woman.
Yes,
wherever
she
she
is.
is. Well, you'll
Gillian,
see her in a
darling.
Thank you, Gillian. So, there was a song that one of your favourite songs in the show, which we didn't do at Sydmonton, did we? Because we only did the first act.
Well, we only did the first act originally.
Yeah.
And it was most extraordinary, really, because I remember that the audience sort of laughed through the auction. And the moment the little masquerade tune happened on the Monkey, there was a kind of shiver through everybody, wasn't there? Nobody knew quite what to expect. But you're right. Well, of course, when we didn't have Masquerade, we didn't have The Point of No Return, and of course we didn't have Wishing You Were Somehow Here Again.
I know.
Brilliantly done tonight.
Absolutely. Well, I'm just wondering, because, you know, we're very lucky out of a misfortune tonight to have a couple of wonderful artists from France.
We have indeed.
Because the show is
a
postponed
bonus
again.
tonight, even out of slightly sad circumstances, but the theatre where we were going to play, the Mogador in Paris, there was a serious fire, and it's not been possible to go ahead with the show, but we do have the two wonderful leads here tonight.
Very good.
One of whom anybody who's followed the Phantom needs absolutely no introduction, the great and fantastic Serria Boggess.
And I think I'm saving money, so I'm not going to use the orchestra for this bit. But I've hired a very good pianist.
D'exister. Vous étiez ma seule compagnie. Pourquoi m'avoir quittée? Revenez-moi, je dois vous parler. Reprenons comme autrefois. Est-il assez de vous rêver? Retrouvez vos bras, revenez-moi pour me raconter ce que nous avons été. Tout devient flou quand je rêve de vous, je dois m'être égarée. Cloche sans pierre et ange sculpté, figure douce et austère, ne sont pas ce qu'il vous faudrait. Vous étiez ma lumière. Too many years for fighting back tears. Why can't the past just die? Wishing you were somewhere again, knowing we must say goodbye. Try to forgive, teach me to live, give me the strength to try. No more memories, no more silent tears, no more gazing across the wasted years. Help me say goodbye. Help me say goodbye.
Well, gosh, Serria is pretty fantastic. I seem to recall Sidmonton. We tried out the show with a couple of artists who were performing in a sort of, or about to perform in a rather sort of struggling French musical. Another French one, which sort of went on to rather irritatingly sort of be a year ahead of us. Not too pleased about that. But anyway, I thought we might do one other song from the show with one of those sort of struggling kind of wannabe artists.
Talk of darkness, forget these wide-eyed fields. I'm here, nothing can harm you. My words will warm and calm you. Let me be your freedom. Let daylight dry your tears. I'm here with you, beside you, to guard you and to guide you.
Say you love me every waking moment. Turn my head with talk of summertime. Say you need me with you now and always. Promise me that all you say is true. That's all I ask of
Your shelter, let me be your light. You're safe, no one will find you. Your fears are far behind you.
all I want is freedom, a world with no more nights, and you always beside me, to hold me and to hide me.
Then say you'll share one love, one lifetime. Let me lead you from your solitude.
Say you'll need me with you here beside you. Anywhere you go, let me go too. Christine, that's all I ask of you.
Say you'll share with me one life, one lifetime. Say the word and I will follow you.
Share each day
That's all I ask of thee.
Anywhere you go,
creme de la creme.
Watching us and all our theater in the
30 years
of relief, of delight,
of Elysium peace.
And what a masquerade!
Ladies and gentlemen, our wonderful special guest tonight. And our brilliant original creative team, the incomparable Gillian Lynn. Charles Hart and Richard Stilgo. And the original Phantom of the Opera Company and Mr. Michael Crawford. Andrew, there's a little tune coming.
The Phantom.
Happy birthday to you.